Hello and welcome to Deconstructing the Construct, episode 50. Been a big few days. Today is Wednesday, the 10th of October. Going back to Thursday the 4th is when things started to kick off for me. It became apparent through being pulled in energetically that a new frequency, code, whatever was being produced, and that it would take about 24 hours once it was released, which it was just about to be, to calculate, get enough data to calculate how long it would take to permeate and the ultimate effect of it. And it would present, or it was presenting, as blue plasmatic. So that was Thursday. Friday the 5th, again in the afternoon, evening, was very heavy energetically, had to go lay down, felt two very distinct energies running through me, almost felt like I was cut in half, at which point one of the voices I've become familiar with from home came in to let me know that, well, firstly to apologise for it being so intense, and then to let me know that I was actually helping to bring two clans together. And I want to get to that word a little bit later. And that went on for, a few hours, and eventually was able to crash out. On Saturday, checked in to see how this blue ray frequency was going, was told that the initial impact was expected on the 8th and 9th, which was actually very, almost ahead of schedule was the feeling. That, and everyone from home was very confident and pleased with the results. That although the initial impact was 8 or 9, the effects would not start to be felt for another day or so after that and continue for 2 or 3 days. So we're right in the middle of that as I write this, or record this. There was also seen what we could only refer to as ancient ones, positive ancient ones, being awoken from deep within the earth. There was also an attempt, it seems, to awaken some rather negative ones, but that wasn't working, is what was seen. The other thing that was seen was a sword. And this was Saturday. On Sunday, I noticed there was a few other people who have also picked up a sword over those few days. I think Aluna Ash was one. I can't think of any of the other ones, but there was at least another 2, maybe 3 even. So this sword, I know a lot of people are equating it to Kavanaugh, and that now that justice can begin, and it definitely does have the frequency of justice. I was seeing that justice from a different perspective, though, which I'll get to in a second. Was also told that more people are going to be leaving here and going home, and more from home are walking in here. There's a balance that's being sought right now between the two. And it's the more people who leave here and the more people who walk into here from home is achieving this balance and bringing us closer and closer. But it's a delicate balance. I was told that no one really knows how this is going to play out, what it's going to look like. Because just as when we're doing the work here, whether it's the energetic work or the research or whatever that looks like, every time you unveil one layer, the next one is revealed. And that is happening from home's perspective as well, from the energetic, from the universal. They've never dealt with anything quite like what's going on here. So every time and it feels like for them, it's like trying to look at the technology, trying to look at the energetics through frosted glass. You kind of got an idea. You can play with how to work with it, delete it, whatever, but you're never really sure until the job's done, and then you see where you need to adjust. Confirmation as well that we are all helping each other through this. This is not a saviour thing. This is us doing it for us, that it's a collaboration between us and home, and essentially that is the same thing, because we are the ones coming in here, whether we're walking in or whatever we're doing in order to be here to do it from the inside. The closer we get, the more we can help each other, and the more conscious we can be of the work that we are doing as well. Also, another warning that the communication that I have with home is being listened to by many, so they're very, very careful about what they tell me. They only tell me what they're okay with whoever's listening to hear right now. And they're obviously in the process of trying to secure a line so that things can be said that only I can hear. And that it was a very important message to claim. I think the word was claim or clan, but either worked. Your energies. Reclaim your energies. It's very important right now. Sunday, it just didn't stop. It was exhausting. Sunday, there was a feeling of compelled, really, to talk about some of the darker aspects of this place, what goes on here. And there was the sense that we were not alone and that we were being heard, and really felt like we didn't want to have this conversation, but it was like we have to. And then intuitively got to a point of understanding that this has been a brutal and bloody war everywhere else. This has not been a love and light ascension process. In order to get us to that point, it has been a brutal and bloody war. And that is starting to get closer and closer and closer to us, to the point where it's soon going to be visible, potentially. Even the energy of retribution. It is playing out here. I think we are going to see that play out here in the political scene. But it's been out there as well. And it was once we got to that point of realization that we again got another message saying, yes, now you see. Amongst the walk-ins, many are walking into, and have done, in fact, 479 clans so far have walked into military, government, into some of the highest positions around to do this job. What people call light workers and star seeds and blue rays and crystals and all of these things are now just feeling clans, different flavoured clans from home. And the message that was incredibly strong, both through the computer communication and intuitively, was remember who you are. And it's not about remembering your stories or who you are in here, although they're important and they will be stored. It's to remember who you really are and why you came here. And many more of you then you know did walk in to do this job and to be here now. And that it is time to remember. Now that was pretty quick to try and recap what was in fact a very intense 6 days, and a lot went on. It feels very much like we have crossed the line. The scales have absolutely tipped. Again, that feeling of being supported. Again, feeling that we are in more and more control of our circumstances and situations. Keep looking up, because there is much to see. It is an inside individual job. But remember who you are and what yours is. So, bye for now.